Friends. Can I call you friends? Yeah, friends of DC 101. Thank you. I think we're going to begin. And again, I know it's a super personal question, but have you ever heard of a band by the name of 21 Pilots? Yeah. Okay. Because Josh and Tyler are here, and they're going to come out now, and you get to ask them a question. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello.
Gentlemen, welcome.
Hi.
Oh, actually, I'm going to give you this one.
Oh, great.
And I'm going to give you the blue one. And I'm going to take this one for your guests.
Cool. Check.
Perfect. So welcome. We have beautiful water.
Okay.
Before
delicious.
we get into questions, I have just one thing because I want to. This is called an icebreaker. And by the way, these guys are going to play in just a couple of hours tonight. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything magical about the water you drink?
No, not usually.
Because I feel like whatever's in your brains that comes out on stage and on records, vinyl is my preference.
Yeah.
It has to be the water.
No, it's the dessert.
That's where the magic is.
We only eat dessert. We don't eat normal food. We just eat brownies and pie.
You would be the coolest dad in the
Cookies.
world. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. We might die soon, but at least we're making good music.
At least, yes. We're so glad you guys are here. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, stop. We haven't even done anything cool yet. You don't have to clap yet. We'll see.
I have an observation before we get to Austin's question. Isn't it interesting that your speaking voice is so similar to your singing voice?
Is that true?
It's not always the case, too.
Really?
No.
So when on a song, I sound like not very intimidating as well.
I think you're welcoming on your music. I feel like
Welcoming?
we are part of the club when we listen to 21 Pilots music.
So I have a welcoming voice.
Yeah.
Is that just a nice way of saying feminine?
That would never occur to me.
No. I don't know. I think when I call people on the phone, or when I talked to Jenna, my wife, for the first time on the phone, and she wasn't sure where to place me. Is this a guy?
Now I'm always going to be thinking about that.
I don't know. I just think some people are born with lighter voices.
I think you're a pretty damn good singer.
I know.
Is Austin here? Austin, do you have a question for these guys right here? Oh, yeah, I'm going to get you a microphone. Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Do I sound like how I drum?
That's a good question.
Wait, say that one more time.
Do I sound like how I drum?
I think so.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I don't know what that means either, but
No, that's a compliment. Austin, say hi to 21 Pilots.
What's up?
Wait, one more time. Hi.
Hi.
Is your mic on?
Hi.
Oh, that's cool.
It's on. He's not.
What's your question?
If you weren't musicians, what would you be doing instead?
That's a good one. What do you think?
whatever I want.
I'd want to probably, do something really creative and something inspiring, like real estate. It's kind of what I would do.
I'd sort of like to see your listing on like Zillow.
Yeah.
What would your listing look like? Because there's been some crazy ones over the past 6 months,
I guess I would
Really?
write a song for each house
Listing.
I'm trying to sell.
There have been crazy listings on Zillow.
Yeah, did anybody see the listing of like an S&M type photo shoot to sell the house? Yeah, for real. I'm not going there. We have younger people here, but yeah, did you not see that?
No,
No.
I don't look that stuff up.
Maybe you're not in the market.
I gotta learn.
Austin, thank you for your question.
I would buy houses for a living.
That's it.
Your houses.
You would buy my houses. I would sell to him. And
Yeah.
Would you make a full price offer?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be looking for a discount?
rent
No.
discount.
I mean, I'm trying to help out my bro.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Your money's, well, I don't want to talk about money. I was going to say your money is his money and vice versa, but none of my business. Valerie, are you here? Valerie, hey, do you have a question for 21 Pilots? Come on up. No, come on over here and I'll give you the microphone. This is green.
Okay.
Say hi to 21 Pilots.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So I'm a little nervous, but
Don't be.
what inspires your writing processes, and what new up-and-coming artists do you guys like? Be honest.
Be honest.
You're awesome.
We what inspires us, it can be all kinds of things. It can be something as simple as a simple kick drum or a sound, or a lot of times, because we play a lot of shows, we tend to write songs that we wish we could play live. What we know of our music, even though there's a recorded version of it out there and people know our albums and songs, what we know of our music is what it looks like live, because we do that every day. Which I guess in a sense is why we always cater to the song being more interesting, having an element that we know we can kind of visualize what it would look like live. So we're inspired by playing shows. Like we have a show tonight, and always thinking of different ideas, always hashing out something new. And so I think we're mostly inspired by the fact that we're playing shows in front of people every night. It's probably the biggest inspiration. As far as artists today, yeah, I don't listen to music. I'm just working on my real estate job.
There's no time for music in that.
Yeah. Yeah. We could do our own real estate podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
What would you call it?
I don't know.
Wow. There we go.
Valerie, thank you very much.
Wow.
Just calling out the competition.
Yeah.
One of our biggest fans, his name is Brody. He's right there. My man, Brody. Come on up, dude. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how tall
What's
you are.
up, Brody?
Which song that you wrote is the most fun to play in front of a big crowd? And why?
It's a good one. You have one?
It really does change, but we recently started playing Heavy Dirty Soul again, and that song is really fun.
Yeah. I think Jumpsuit for us was the first song that we worked on for the last record. We knew it was going to be the song that we, is first on the record, but also one that we wanted to open up our shows with. We feel like we like to tie those together. So I always enjoy playing Jumpsuit live because you kind of get a feel for what the audience is going to be like that night. So it's a good.
You think that's like a gauge?
Oh yeah, for sure. And honestly, our headline shows are almost all the same. But we've been doing festivals where you're playing outside in front of maybe a lot of people who don't know who you are in different countries, and so there's a whole moment where you're just trying to read how's this show going to go. And Jumpsuit's a good song just to kind of a litmus test, see what you're going to be working with. So it's a fun one to play.
That's a great question. And a really cool answer. I love hearing that, especially about the European shows. You guys have been busy this summer. So without, your semi-trucks filled with cool toys,
Yeah.
and you're over in another country playing those songs and getting the gauge on that first song, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Brody, do you want to give him a fist bump? You can do that. I didn't ask him in advance, but I think it's cool. That's a great question, man. Thank you. Is Kelly A here? Kelly? Ooh, Kelly, say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
It was lovely seeing you guys up in Boston and last year at the
Cool.
My question is, what song is your current earworm and or guilty pleasure? I'm going to go with guilty pleasure since you said you don't listen to music.
Oh yeah. Guilty. What do you think? Like Can't Be Our Song?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
ABBA or something.
Yeah. I'm guilty of listening to our music.
Yeah.
It's not cool, but it's not cool to say that.
I think that's a fine and acceptable answer.
I listen to our own music like in my car sometimes.
Like, I want to know what other bands listen to their music too, because I think most probably don't.
I know people have been like next to me at a red light, recognize me, and hear that I'm playing my own music.
That's awesome.
It's a great combination of things all
Wow.
happening at once.
Yeah.
And I hope they never forget that. I think that's something that'll be ingrained in their memory forever. I'm trying to think.
I feel like guilty pleasure is like something you're like ashamed of, but I'm not really ashamed of anything I listen to. So
It's very
Yeah.
Barry
Yeah,
Manilow.
yeah.
Tom Jones.
Yeah.
My mom loves Tom Jones. So, yeah, I like listening to Tom Jones.
Kelly, thank you for the question. Very interesting. You know, thinking about, or when you guys say you listen to your own music, I love that point because, you know, the joke has been, oh, you should never wear a T-shirt of the band you're going to see that night. And I remember asking maybe Corey Taylor from Slipknot that question. No, it was the guys from Social Distortion. We were in Boston a couple of years ago, and I asked them about it, and I was asking on behalf of somebody else, and they were pissed about it because they were like, you know what, I think it's pretty damn cool that people would wear the T-shirt of the band that they're going to see.
Yeah.
And if you look out, have you been outside lately? There's a real long line.
I haven't been outside in like 3 months.
They're all wearing 21 Pilot stuff.
Yeah.
And so when you say, you know, you listen to your own music and you think there's nothing wrong with it, I think that's a good answer.
Yeah. I'd like to think that if our
like
fans were to be writing their own music, they listen to it as well. That's right.
You gotta like it.
That's a good question. Is Bree here? Bree. Hello, Bree. Oh, Bree, come on up. Oh, I like your T-shirt. I don't know if you've looked at your own T-shirt lately, but the guys that are right in front of you.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, since your music doesn't have like one set vibe, you play instruments that a lot of rock bands don't usually play. Who were your musical inspirations when you were teenagers?
It's a tough one. The influences one is a tough one to break down into a quick answer. There's so many influences, all the way down to video games I grew up playing. The soundtrack and the music inside of that influenced me, and my mom trying to figure out how to play the Star Spangled Banner on the piano, all the time was something that influenced me. I don't think that I could really break down exactly different bands, that everything that they did directly influenced me in a way that I was trying to emulate them. I think that there were songs. It was very, I don't know, I think a lot of times today people, they don't want to admit that they listen to the radio or what's popular, but when I was little, that's driving in my mom's car, she'd always have the local station on, and so just listening to whatever was fresh then was always happening. I would say that there are specific artists like Billy Joel and Ben Folds. These guys kind of gravitated towards the piano. And for me, I guess I saw that an instrument like that was something that could be cool, could be inspiring and exciting. A lot of times you see a piano in your grandma's living room and it doesn't strike you as something that you want to go, pound on and create a song on. But it's artists like that kind of showed me that it was exciting and, I don't know, a fun tool to write songs with.
I love that answer.
I'm on fire today.
You are. That's a great question because, like, my grandmother had a piano, and my older brother was the victim because he'd go down and sit next to her on that little bench.
Yeah.
And I think as a little kid, I'd be like, oh my God, my brother Chris is playing piano with grandma. Like, but that's so interesting you say that about writing songs around it or bringing a piano like up a notch.
Yeah.
That's a cool question.
I wish my grandma had drums.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Your grandma has drums? Grandpa?
Oh.
Does he still play? That's
Nice.
awesome. See? You can do it when you're old.
Good. That's encouragement to me today. I feel inspired.
There you go.
Will that inspire you to bring it tonight?
Yes.
How many drum sets do you have at your own house, your private house, your own house?
2.
Are they in like the living room or a garage?
Yeah, it's like the garage is kind of like a studio thing.
Where's the second one?
Bathroom.
That would be so cool. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my-
Just sitting there working on his fills. Yeah. Sitting on the throne. There you go. Yep. The drum throne.
Yeah. They're both in there. One's just kind of stacked up in case someone wants to come over. And if you guys want to come over, I've got an extra kit.
That'd be sick. Is there ever a day that goes by that you don't play drums?
It's pretty rare, but sometimes. But I mean, like when we're home, I'm like in there all the time.
Drums are more of a workout, so it's kind of a cool thing just to see it as cardio or
That's
whatever.
true. Yeah, I can just cross it off my workout list for the day. But when I was young, my parents let me have a kit in their basement for a while, which was extremely generous. But when I got a little bit older, I had a friend who had a warehouse in Columbus for some reason, and so I rented like part of like a loft in that warehouse from him to put my drums. But there was no heating or cooling, so in the winter I would go and play, and it was really cold, and I broke all my cymbals.
Oh
like
my
I was
God.
always breaking them.
That happened
Really?
to my ukulele all the time.
Yeah,
Just strumming so hard.
in the warehouse.
Snap the ukulele in half. Punk rock.
Mauricio, are you here? Oh, yes. Front row, Mauricio. Here you go. Say hi to
Hi.
Hello.
21
Hey.
Pilots.
Knowing that your music has made a huge impact in other people's lives, including people in really dark places, how has your music changed?
That's a good question. I think that there is an aspect of the songs have become, I don't know, self-aware. Like they know people are going to listen to them now. And obviously, at first, I didn't know anyone was going to hear any of it. And so you create in this vacuum where the truth is I was actually living in a vacuum where no one was going to hear these songs. And now I kind of have to create that vacuum, almost a synthetic idea of these songs are just going to live right here in this studio in my basement. Because once you start letting those influences creep into the space where you're creating, it can definitely change the direction of something. The smallest idea can be changed or manipulated based off of the smallest feedback. I use the example that maybe a friend of my parents might say something like, I love your record, I could work out to the whole thing. I press play and I can work out to the whole thing. You would think that just giant success that we've been so fortunate to see would be more of a, I don't know, something to fight and, keep at bay. But it's really the small things, the small comments, the small interactions with fans that stick with me when working on a new song. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. So if I'm working on a song and it crosses my mind, wait, can Cindy work out to this? Like, that's so silly. But that's how delicate creativity is. It can be swayed so easily. So deciding what influences you let in and which ones you block out is really important. I do think that the one influence we always want to allow to have a voice in the room as we're creating is our fans. And I think we're lucky enough to have fans that trust us with what's next. Where if we were to ask them, what kind of music do you want to hear next? They would say, we want to hear whatever's coming from you, whatever's next from you. And that's something as a songwriter I don't take for granted, because not every band, not every group of fans actually believe that. They get stuck in a certain, whether it's an era or a time frame, and they want music just like that always. And I've always respected and appreciated about our fans encouraging us to grow and wanting us to build on what we've created and excited to see what's next. And it's a really freeing feeling knowing that that's the influence we let into the room when creating, and not something that is barring down on us.
Awesome question, man. That's really interesting insight. Like pulling that curtain back.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Eric, are you here? Eric. Of course he's here. Why do I keep asking that? Come on up, Eric. Glad to have you here, dude. What's your question?
What's up, guys? Hey. So I'm not sure if you guys remember it, but first time that I saw you guys perform was in 2013. You actually opened for a small college venue here in Towson, Maryland.
Okay.
You guys absolutely killed it. You blew it out of the water. You blew the headliner out of the water that night. I was just curious, looking back, what do you think was the most memorable moment of your career since then, and what moment are you guys looking forward to the most in your future success?
I feel really cool now.
We blew a headliner out of the water?
I don't know if you guys classify yourself. You opened for the set for, it was for A1 Nation, and you guys crushed it.
Wow. We do enjoy doing that. No, I think that we, even at a local level, we played so many shows with so many different bands. AWOL Nation, those guys are friends of ours now. I don't think we knew them that well at the time, but we've since toured with them, and Aaron's such a cool guy. Strong creative mind and really, really fun to talk to. But we, even at a local level, I don't know how it works now, but when we were playing in small rooms, just kind of scraping together other bands to play with, we'd have to get 9 bands to play at one venue just to get enough people in the room to watch you play. And so we started with this sense of, rubbing shoulders with other bands that were way different than us, that kind of approached the idea of a live show way different than we did. And there was a sense of competition there. And it was our goal that when we were done, that the place would clear. And other bands would be like, wait, where did everyone? It was like, well, we actually went and sold tickets. We would, hustle, and our moms would help us sell tickets, and we would I remember my mom standing out in front of the venues and just waving people down and be like, come inside, my son's in there. Somehow it worked.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Oh, your son? Okay. Here's $5. I don't know why it worked that way, but so yeah, it was always fun to. I think that there's a healthy sense of camaraderie inside of the musician, band, artist world, where, hey, you do music, we do music, let's pull for each other. And Josh and I are always feeling like we want to destroy you, and we want to do better than you, and we want to. Really, it's just pumping each other up to go be the best that we can. And that's why we like festivals, because we get to play next to other bands. Someone's going to rise to the top. Someone's going to be remembered. And we try to just attack each show that way. Back to your question about, you said the most important moment, or
the most memorable moment.
Memorable
moment since then, and what you're looking
forward to.
I do miss those times. I think a lot of times when we reminisce of, when we think of a story, it's around that time period when we were in a SUV with our buddies traveling around, and there is that competition and trying to, at the very least, stand out. And, but I think having a little bit of the competition allows you to throw in something that's different and not really just be like, well, that's kind of weird because nobody else does that. It kind of gives you a fearlessness. But I also do think that since we became friends and started talking about what we wanted and what our goals were in music, we always dreamed pretty big. So I think probably our first arena tour was really fun, and it felt like it was a real accomplishment, from kind of traveling around and playing in venues where sometimes there were 2 people that would show up, or where the promoter told us that the venue burned down because we didn't sell any tickets.
That's true.
And so to be able to play in venues that we grew up just looking at and complete mystery, having no idea how we would get there, and then to kind of perform in those rooms was and is really special.
I appreciate the fact that you said that you guys always dream big.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, because I think maybe you're just on the cusp of it starting to work out.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Catherine has a question, and I've got a microphone that's green. Say hi to 21 Pilots.
Hi.
So, if you were to get into a fight, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
We actually get a variation of this one a lot. Yeah. And we, I think we boiled it down. It's pretty easy. We would take the 100. Easy. It's not even a question, actually. If you disagree with me, then you're dumb.
Hey, Wyatt, do you have a question? Wyatt? Oh, wait. Oh, I could be out of line. I don't know. How did I get Wyatt from Sarah? Got it. Got it. Ask away. All right. I love your hat.
Hello.
Hi.
So, how did you come up with the creature from Corey, Ned? And what inspired you to make him, and what was the idea behind it?
So yeah, Ned represents this. I don't know. I've talked about how music for me is something that both of us, we're so passionate about. We get so excited about it. It just so happens that we get to do it for a living, and we love it so much, we're so lucky. But at the same time, I do feel like my relationship with the creativity that is required to write a song is a bit of a love-hate relationship. I think that when I hear other artists and other bands and other songwriters talk about music, it's almost like they brainwash themselves that they always love music. I always love music. Is always my escape. Music is always I've always liked. And I don't know. I just felt like, am I just different then? Because I was worried. Like sometimes I don't love music. Sometimes I don't. I get frustrated with the song I'm working on because I can't get it to do what I want it to do, and I'm wrestling it into submission and trying to figure out what it's trying to say, what I'm trying to say inside of it. And I've always looked at songs as this kind of like its own thing, and I'm trying to capture it, or I'm trying to wrangle it, or however you want to say it. And because of that tension there, I don't always love it. There's times when I'm finished with a session of working down in my basement, and I come upstairs and I'm mad. I just walk around the house mad because I didn't get it right. I didn't like anything that I worked on. I felt like it was all terrible, and I felt like there's something wrong with me. And no one should be mad working on something they love. And then I realized that that's not wrong, because when it does go right, when it lands, when you finally get that idea figured out, you finally wrangle it, you understand it, you get it to do what you thought and you always knew it could do, it's that much more special. And so the idea of Ned representing this character that you kind of need to coax out, to please, he's kind of a moving target as far as what he likes and what he doesn't like, kind of representing that tension that I feel as I'm writing a song. I like the idea of taking an emotion or a frustration or a feeling and giving it a character so that I can kind of really stare at it and understand my relationship with it and how I can get better at interacting with it. And so he basically was manifested in order for me to wrap my mind around that struggle, that push and pull that happens inside of songwriting. And it's helped. So he kind of helped me through some of those moments.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
That's super cool. Great question. Gavin. Is Gavin in the house? What? Gavin, what's up, dude?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
First, I have a friend whose name is Enzo. He told me to say hi to you for me. From Enzo.
What's up, Enzo?
Hello.
So my question is, like, any tours you've done in the past however long, like, what is one of your favorite things you've done?
While on tour? Maybe other than music? Or
Anything.
anything?
Music. Probably one of my favorite things we've done.
It is nice. We went on a helicopter ride once.
That's probably the coolest thing we've done.
You think that's the coolest?
Yeah.
Was it your first helicopter ride?
It was my first helicopter ride, which
Where-
I didn't know how I felt about it, honestly, to begin with. Because,
Headset.
yeah, headset. It was in Vancouver,
Mhm.
so we went like north to all the awesome mountains and stuff. I don't know. It was really pretty and awesome. But I can't help but think as I approach this helicopter that my chances of dying in a helicopter are pretty much zero if I don't get into the helicopter.
Wait, can you say that again? I'm trying to do this new age
Yeah.
math.
So my chances of dying in a helicopter are 0% chance if I don't get into the helicopter. As soon as I get into the helicopter, there is all of a sudden introduced this percentage. Is it really worth the thrill? I kind of felt like no, but Josh convinced me that it is worth the thrill, so we did it.
Did you see a bald eagle?
No, I was
No
looking.
eagles.
We're looking for bears,
Yeah.
polar bears.
I bet that in that part of the world was incredible in a helicopter.
Yeah, great Wi-Fi.
That's a good question,
We were
dude.
just checking our Twitter the whole time. I didn't even look up
No, don't say that.
All right, thank
Serious?
you. Thank you.
We're looking up photos of.
where we were.
Yeah.
Do you remember the color of the helicopter?
I think it was black.
Ooh.
Stealthy.
Yeah, very.
Oh yeah.
Alexander's in the house. Ooh, that's you, dude. I love that T-shirt. Yes, thank you.
I teach elementary school PE, and
Cool.
we play your music all the time.
Oh,
Some of
sweet.
The kids. Yeah. I knew I recognized you.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So my question was,
She's freaking out about that.
what's your favorite memory of elementary school PE?
Elementary school PE. Fantastic. I don't know about you, but I went to a smaller school, so we didn't really have a gym attached to our elementary school, but we did have a barn/garage thing that was like carpeted, but like a hard carpet, so you could still play basketball and stuff. And I remember specifically every day for PE going in there, our whole class would wait to see what our gym teacher, Mr. B, we called him, and what he would say we're doing. And sometimes he'd be like, we're running, around the school a million times, and I think he just ran out of ideas sometimes. But if he were to ever say, we're going to war, we would freak out because we knew we were going to do war ball, which is, I guess, dodgeball. So we loved dodgeball, and it was in this little garage. So it was like, you can't hide, and you're about to get pegged and double teamed, and it was amazing.
Dude, dodgeball's the best.
It is good. That's why I do it for my birthday every year.
Yeah. I think as soon as you said that, I just thought of dodgeball too. Probably especially as like young boys, it's just you just get out a lot of aggression. You like dodgeball? Nice.
He normally wins.
I think everybody knows exactly what the sound of that ball hitting your face sounds like.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin.
Yeah.
Caitlin's in the house. Awesome T-shirt alert.
Hi guys.
Hey.
So I know Madison Square Garden was like a top venue. I like heard it in a interview years ago, and I know you guys played there. So what's your next dream venue?
Like the next one that we're excited to play?
Yeah, like you really want to play there. Like, even if you don't even have it like on your tour, like you really, really want to play there.
You got one?
I don't think I know any other venues.
We did play one in, I forget, what was that festival in Europe that was in a Coliseum?
Oh yeah, in France.
Yeah, it was an actual Coliseum like style thing, and it was really cool. We've done a lot. We've played a lot of places now. I don't know if there is a specific one. I mean, we would always love to play like a giant stadium or something at some point, which I guess is kind of the next step, if that's even a reality for us. Not a lot of bands get to do that, and it might not pan out for us because you have to get so many people in there to even make it worth it. But I guess in a sense that would be the next step, is to play at some outdoor stadium thing.
Good question. Yeah. I don't want this press conference to end. Julie. Hello, Julie. Okay, cool. Awesome. Hi. Say hi to these guys make music under the name 21 Pilots.
Yeah.
They're right here. You're 5 feet away.
Okay.
If you can remember back in 2015, you guys were well known for buying the
Yeah.
So my question is, if you guys had the opportunity to create a new challenge for fans, social media influencers, and just
Jeez. Yeah, bone pinching.
Yeah, I think a lot of
That whole thing was just a joke.
yeah, it was. It really stems from being just driving a lot, and I think probably a lot of people have an urge. I think we were talking about just like
I don't know if everyone has this. But
not everybody.
We may
but,
have just
but,
created
yeah.
this.
A
A lot of time in the van with nothing to do but to talk.
if you're like standing on a like the roof of a tall building, I always want to like throw off like a laptop or like my phone or something, just valuable, and I don't know why.
Yeah. No, it's. I
I
don't
want
know
to take physics.
Yeah.
So we started. It's just kind of a rush to just hold something that kind of like dangle something, and also almost fantasize about it actually falling and breaking.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird fantasy. But
It's
you're
really weird. It is. I
We'd have to go to
understand
the
that it's
Apple
weird.
store.
Yeah.
Get it fixed.
Yeah. Fix your shattered screen.
Yeah.
So
Only if you had Apple Care, bro.
Yeah. Well, we're signed now, so that stuff doesn't matter to us.
But it was never an intention to be like, let's make a viral thing. I did see it in the wild once.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was
In the wild.
H&M, and I was like in line, and there was a couple kids that were doing it. There was like you could go down a level, like walk downstairs, and so there was like a thing that you could, and they were doing it, and I don't think they knew that we were there.
Yeah, actually, in fact, I think you told me that you wanted to be like, "Hey, I invented that."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Shut up, old man."
Yeah. Whatever, dude. But I felt pretty accomplished in that moment. But yeah, I don't.
New challenge. I mean, that's takes a lot of thought. You can't just spitball new challenges like that. But we could do the, get a tattoo of a baby cow on your calf challenge. Huh?
That would be cool.
Right.
Yeah, calves on calves.
Awesome question.
I hope to see some of those tattoos soon. This is the
I-
official challenge.
I
now.
do not. I do not.
I just want to thank you guys for taking time because I know that your day is a very long one and you're pulled in all these different directions, and that's even before your concert. And I will tell you this, and I'm going to wrap it up. I've only seen 21 Pilots one time. That was in D.C. earlier this year.
Okay.
It was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. I'm not just saying that because you guys are here. The production elements were so incredible, and in my mind, I was thinking, where the hell do you guys go practice that stuff? I mean, I guess they have big venues and wherever it is, right?
We do go into an arena somewhere and work it out for a few. We make sure that we're prepared on a technical, like our musicianship is ready, and so I'm not learning a song for the first time on stage with like a burning car behind me. So you want to be smart about the order in which you prepare. So we'll prepare individually, and then if it's like the beginning of a tour, we'll usually get together with some of the guys we work with and just work on the sound and the sonics of it. And it's not really on a stage; it's more in a room. And then we'll put it all together with the production and everything. And it's a work day.
So you rent a venue?
Yeah, we do. For this show, we were in Tampa. So our first show was in Tampa, and so we rented it out a couple days early, and we ran some things there, and then had a show the next day. So.
We'll wrap this up quick, but one follow-up question to that. When you guys see it come to life after it's been in here and then it's played in smaller rooms and you see it come to life and you've got all the kinks worked out, do you just love it? Is it just incredible? And you're like, holy shit, I can't believe we brought this to life.
It is a crazy feeling. The idea is, I think that we've gotten really good at just visualizing what we want, not only the show to seem like, but what is someone in the audience, how are they taking this in? 'Cause sometimes you can plan little details of a show, but then you have to consider, okay, someone who's maybe up in that top balcony, are they going to really get that detail? And what can we do to make sure that detail is communicated, whether it's a a placement of a microphone or a specific emotion that we're bringing out in our performance, and utilizing things. It's called IMAG, which is the guys with cameras that show us on the screen. We've dove pretty deep into that. Like, what do we want to show people? When do we want to not show them? Maybe we, in between songs, we're transitioning. Maybe we cut it there. But I tell our guys that work on that stuff, we got to make sure that people all the way up top and anywhere in a room feel like they're a part of this. And that's what's so hard. As we were growing, how do we create elements and production ideas that still involves everyone and still, because everyone's been to those shows where it really doesn't matter if you were there or not. It's kind of the feeling you can get as you leave, and we didn't want anyone to feel that way. We want them to try to feel a part of it, but it gets harder and harder as the venues get bigger and bigger. Part of us miss the smaller rooms, because they're right there. But yeah, no, it's something that when it does come together is a really cool feeling. Josh, Tyler, 21 Pilots. Thanks.
Give it up for these guys. This is really cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for your time.